Hello, welcome to Gers TV. This Tuesday night, myself, Gordy Bond, and Viv,
Vivian, hello.
and we've got Simon, who's going to be online very shortly, just fixing a few technical stuff. How are you?
I'll just be doing the technical side here, so it's just yourselves.
Alright, okay,
And everybody.
that's fine. So, it's alright. How are we, Viv?
Fantastic, thank you.
Brilliant, glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
Been
So,
a good week for football.
been a good week for football, good week for the Rangers as we continue our progress under Philip Clement. So, talking points tonight, what we're going to have for you is the European game against Sparta Prague at home, Livingston away from home, and then we'll talk a little bit about the financial results announced this morning as well. So, three topics which are actually three bits of good news and three really positive events in the last week for a Rangers fan. And do you remember, 6-7 weeks ago, Everton was just sad. Everton was just sad.
A couple of hard shows, yeah.
That's just me. That's just size part. Do you know what I mean? Everything's sad and depressing. Talking about Michael Beale and how it was, how bad we were and the performances.
It was just not getting any better every time. Every week it was getting worse.
So
but we're remaining hopeful.
Full disclosure, I actually, due to a work commitment, I actually missed the game on Thursday night. But I know I will get the jail for that.
Well, do you know what? I was meant to be. I was offered to go to a conference as well, but I politely declined.
So I did manage to watch the game, but you were there, Viv, in person, yeah?
I was, yeah.
What was the atmosphere like?
Amazing. I was sitting right in with the Union Bears actually, so and what a display. No, it was absolutely incredible. I was so emotional. I've got so many videos. I'm actually still kind of on a high about it, to be honest. It was really, really good. I thought we played excellent.
Yep, so once again, hats off to the Union Bears for displaying tifo and organising that. It's it's not only is it intimidating, but it's inspiring for the home fans as well. So absolutely fantastic. So.
It was such a good atmosphere. Like honestly, I never heard one negative comment from anybody. And it, like you said, maybe 7 weeks previous to that being in Ibrox was a completely different experience and very much. So yeah, all good.
Brilliant. So the result was the final score was 2-1, but first half I thought we were absolutely superb and we blew Sparta Prague away, and we made them look amateur. What's your thoughts in the first half?
I think we went out. I'm trying to remember because I was singing for 90 minutes. I'm not going to lie. No, I thought from the get go we were up for it. A lot of people have said they were absolutely terrible, but I think from our side we really were strong from the beginning.
Absolutely. I think that we set the marker out and we played really, really well and strong from the offset. Thought a couple of good goals. Danilo scored, and then the Cantwell goal was absolutely superb. What a flowing move. And it was fantastic football, and it was a really, really, really good finish as well. So absolutely, again, I can't emphasise enough.
I know.
How much did we play Sparta Prague away in the first half?
Definitely, and I would rather see. I had a few comments have been made about maybe our performance in the second half. However, for me, they can't maintain that level for 90 minutes, and we're still suffering from injuries. And a lot of players are not fully fit. But I think for me, seeing Rangers play from the start that way, I would much rather prefer than getting a goal down and then having to play better in the second half, take control of it from the first minute of the game, and it's better viewing, it's better for the fans, it's better energy overall. And I think because of that, the other team didn't know what to do. They kind of lost they felt lost a wee bit, and they were kind of out their depth, and that's the way we should be playing. Yeah,
and their defender, I think if I remember correctly, his name was Gomez. He was made to look as worse than me. He was hooked at half. He was hooked at half time. We gave him that sort of ring around because Danilo robbed him for the first goal, mind.
Yeah.
And as I say, he spun back to give the ball back to the goalkeeper. Danilo robbed him and slotted in at the bottom left hand corner. So, and all throughout the first half, he was made to look amateur, which was great. I think you're absolutely right. The energy right from the get go, the energy right from the first whistle was sublime and phenomenal, and it's a long time since we've seen that. But we're starting to see that consistently.
They played with heart and passion, and you want to see that. You don't want to see that in the second half. You want to see that for the first minute. I'd much rather. You need that mindset as soon as you go on that pitch, and that way it's harder for the other team to.
I know what you mean, because under Beale sometimes we had good second half performances.
Always.
Yeah, we were very slow to start the game.
Always slow, like so slow. So yeah, that's. From what I remember though, I've got to admit, because I always found it hard.
Really? Soaking up the atmosphere.
Aye, I was. It was an incredible night.
It was an incredible night. So that was first half. Second half, we couldn't quite match the energy levels of the first half.
Yeah.
I would say a lot of that is down to some of the players that are playing, like Cantwell, Danilo, for example. You're right, we had a minute ago. They're not fully fit yet.
No, they're not, and I think the expectations are from them maybe. I mean, I still thought we'd done well, but you could see the pace did take a wee bit slower.
I know it's a cliche in football as well, but 2-0 at half time is always a bit of a tightrope when you play the second half, because all it takes is a goal for the other team, and under pressure, etc. We still played reasonably well in the second half. We had a few chances still, but then Sparta got the goal back.
And that was intense.
Did you start to feel the worst a little bit?
Aye, that was nail biting. That was just, at that point you're just, everything's just a pure drama. But I think it was just, we just kept singing.
Yeah.
Sing louder.
Sing loud and proud. So.
Aye.
Well,
it did feel like ages though.
I think that so here's the thing, right? So under Beale, and I don't even under the kind of last parts of Gio, when we were winning, when we were cruising, and our team got a goal, we did always feel the worst. We did always kind of I can't speak for anyone else, but I think there was always that underlying fear. Okay, we might look a little bit vulnerable here now.
Yeah.
But under Clement so far, I didn't feel that. I always felt as if we could go on and score. In fact, we did actually score immediately after. So immediately after Sparta Prague scored, we went up the park and we scored again.
Yeah.
It was ruled out, unfortunately, after a VAR check, which I thought was, when you look back on it, it's probably the right decision. But it's very, very, very unlucky, because that would have killed the game.
Aye.
And then, from what I remember as well, obviously again full disclosure, not being there, but Butland made a really, really good save.
He did. Yeah.
I think it was either towards the end of the 8 minutes or on injury time. And it was heart and mouth time. I was going to say heart and hand there, but I can't really say that, can you? Whenever I say that, it's just a kind of reaction.
No, it was.
So,
that basically.
Other podcasts
saved it again. Saved that again.
Yeah, so it was an absolutely phenomenal save. And then I think a couple of minutes later, what's inspiring at the back now with Butland is that a couple of minutes later, Prague got a corner. I think it was maybe the second or third minute of injury time, and you thought, oh no, here we go. And then Butland just rose and caught the ball and calmed everything down.
Yeah. So what is the statistics with the manager at the moment then?
So after the Prague game, it was played 6 and won 5 and drew 1. And the draw was away from Prague. So to kind of recap on the game against Sparta Prague, now means that, as far as I'm aware, as long as we beat Limassol next week, we're through no matter what. It's not next week, but 2 weeks almost.
When is it?
No, it's a week on Thursday. Sorry, a week on
Thursday.
So week and a half time. So
29th?
week on Thursday, similar to that. Yeah. So towards the end of the month, but a week on Thursday, because even if Sparta Prague were to somehow win the last 2 games and finish level on points with us, we've got a better head-to-head record.
Yep.
So that rather than goal difference now, it does go difference eventually, but it goes on your games against each other. So that's why that draw
Yeah.
in Prague is crucial.
Yeah. I think that first away game with Limassol was just a disaster. So I'm interested to see how we perform at home. I think we're going to see a totally different team on the pitch, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, and I think that we've got that confidence back, and again, as soon as we stepped on at the park, you kind of thought you had the confidence to say it's going to be a win.
Yeah.
And again, young McCausland's come on in the second half and played a really, really good supporting cameo role. And we'll probably talk about him in a lot more detail shortly because he played really well against Livingston, I thought.
Who?
McCausland.
Oh yeah, I was so glad he got a start.
Yeah, so
Very well deserving, and he's definitely, you can see a lot of potential in him.
Yep. So let us know your thoughts on.
Are we going to do comments tonight? Can you see them?
I just like you kidding me on. I
I
hardly,
can't either.
can hardly see Simon.
Stark, how you doing, guys? How you doing, Starkey? Neil Reid from Toronto. It's always good to see you, Neil. Hi, Sarah Wallace.
Hi Sarah.
No calls tonight, guys. We're doing an upgrade. We're going to be making an announcement in the next 3 or 4 days. Maybe quicker than that, have a big change in the Gers TV format. So that's why there's no calls tonight. Mark Aitken, as always, how you doing, mate? Means made a good point about the Celtic fans at the other side of the city. We might talk about that later on.
I think we'll talk about that when we get to the Livingston game and the silence, etc.
So the Rangers didn't play too well on Sunday, but they won. Good point. But, well, they played all right. Rangers got 9 games in December coming up. Mark Aitken, next game away at Aberdeen Sunday, 26th of November, 12 PM kick-off. That's us and Ricky Reid. Just saying hello. Sounds like a song.
So hi everyone, thanks very much for watching in again. So tuning in again, watching the show. So we've talked about the Sparta Prague. So next up,
Livingston.
We played Livingston away
Sunday.
from home. Whenever you hear the words Livingston away from home,
Tony
you
Macaroni,
just go,
fake grass.
it's either the spaghetti had or the Tony Macaroni. I mean,
their manager cracks me up.
well,
He's actually quite. I don't get me wrong. I know quite a lot about him.
he's
Got quite a colourful background, and I've got a lot of respect for him actually.
yeah. So David Martindale, Livingston have got probably on average the lowest over the last kind of 5 or 6 seasons, the lowest budget or the second lowest budget in the SPL.
Oh, have they?
Aye, and
I
what
didn't
he's
know that.
done is not only has he kept him in the league,
Yeah.
but last season they almost got. At one point last season they were going for Europe,
Yeah.
which is a phenomenal achievement. Martindale's been at Livingston for a few years. We all know about his background, his past. We won't go into it too much on here,
No.
but we know he's got, as you say, good
Acknowledge that, so.
yeah.
It's actually, I think it's very admirable. I like people like
yeah,
that.
and he's
that have turned it around, and he's putting
yeah.
a lot back into the community. And
Absolutely, Livingston is a community club, and he has turned it around. He turned himself around first and foremost, and he's passionate, and he's always, I listened to. I watched a Martindale interview from the previous weekend, and he did frank and honest.
he is. I really like that about him.
He's always frank. He's always honest.
Yeah, and
Calls a spade, and
Livingston's always a tough gig.
Livingston is always. I mean, I've there's plenty of teams. I mean, Rangers and the old firm Rangers and Celtic. Other clubs have went to Livingston, Almondvale, the Tony Macaroni, whatever you want to call it, in the last kind of 3-4 years. I've seen Rangers get beat there twice, I think.
Yep.
When Gerrard won the league, there was a big result for Livingston against Celtic with one of Neil Lennon's last games in charge after the Dubai trip, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
During COVID.
Yeah, Celtic's
so it's never an easy place to go. Plus, you add in the plastic pitch, you add in the fact that they're long balls and physical and defensive.
Yeah.
But again, I thought first half we kind of blew them away. Don't know if you.
The first half what?
First half people kind of blew them away a little bit again.
Yeah, I missed. See, what happened with me was I did miss the majority of the first half, so I was getting updates through the radio. I just keep saying we were unlucky.
Yeah, I mean,
what happened was at the first.
So we had the ball in the back of the net.
And that was VAR.
That was VAR again.
And was it a what was your opinion on it?
Probably.
Probably.
Well, it's one of these situations where when you see it live and you see it in motion, then it's not. You think to yourself, oh, it's a bit harsh, and then I'll see when it comes to VAR. A lot of it depends on the angle as well.
Yeah.
A lot of it depends on the angle.
Well, I know we'll talk about it later, right, with the Livingston game, but that Cantwell booting.
Yeah.
When at first you seen it on TV, it looked like he was to blame, but actually when you actually seen it, he wasn't at all.
Yeah.
It totally changed, as you say, the angle just from where you're viewing.
So
again, it's media. I'm seeing the media drives that as well, which isn't good. But
I posted up the stats here, guys, for the penalties. There's
Yeah.
been this comment and joke has been alluded to the last few years. Penalty to Rangers. Which
I know.
makes no sense, but when you look at the stats this season,
Yep.
I'll just read them out because you're a bit of distance from it. Rangers have had 6 penalties.
Mhm.
Celtic have had 6 penalties. Motherwell 3. St Mirren 3. Kilmarnock 2. Dundee 2. Livingston 2. Aberdeen 1. Hibs 1. Hearts, Ross County, St Johnstone have had none, according to those stats there.
So Rangers. So first of all, we will talk about Taz penalties shortly because it's a very good point you've made, Si, and I've got a couple of wee thoughts on that. But so Dessers got the goal.
Mhm. That was good.
Slightly lucky.
I didn't see it. I didn't
So,
try and I missed that.
Dessers had Dessers had a couple of chances up to his goal where, to be fair to Dessers, right, and we slag him off and he's not played particularly great, but he gets himself in positions.
Mhm.
He's offside a hell of a lot, don't get me wrong.
I did see that, I think 4 times or something.
Yeah.
Like in the first.
So there was his first chance he had. He was at an angle, but he was kind of clean through at an angle, and he blasted it kind of high and wide. Once you see when you see it, think to yourself, okay, that's not an easy chance.
Mhm.
But see when you watch it back, and so again, it's less like VAR. Once you watch it back, you think to yourself, do you know what, Paul should have done better there.
Mhm.
He kept going, and then he got the goal. Great, it was a great setup. Played a great ball by Lawrence.
Yep.
Actually, and Dessers he hits the shot. The shot is on target. It takes a bit of deflection and it spins past the goalie and at the back of the net. But fair play to Dessers.
No matter how he does it.
If you get yourself in the position and you take the shot, then anything can happen. So that's football. You don't shoot, you don't score.
Yeah, I did hear that the offside rule might need to be explained to him.
Again, aye.
A few times.
So, yeah, absolutely. Dessers, he's got his detractors. He seems to think he's in great form, right enough, but because he's said he's happy with his form. So I'll take to see we're not happy with his form. To be perfectly honest, but he said he's happy with his form, and to be fair, he scored in the last kind of 2 or 3 weeks. He has scored
Maybe
2 or
with
3
Dessers
goals.
though, we're just going to see a delayed player. Maybe something's like, it's not to say not everyone settles in at the same and is get the same. We're all different, and you never know. It could be.
He scored.
He
He has scored a few goals. I think he's on 6 for the season.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're a striker at Rangers, with the team we've got against the opposition we're playing, you've got to be aiming for 20 plus goals a season.
Yeah.
And that's
I seen a stat actually. Was it? Sorry, swearing. Tav.
Oh.
Has he not scored the most goals than any other Scottish football club or something? I'm sure. There was something on Twitter about that.
I'll just check the stats out and who's scored what. Exactly.
I'm sure Tav, there was a record broke
I think
at
he's
the
on 11,
weekend.
I'm just double checking it.
So speaking about Tav, fast forward and towards the end of the first half.
Aye, was it a miss?
So McCausland goes down. Now, I'm a Rangers support. I'll say obviously. I would like to think it is obvious, but just for the points of doubt, I'm a Rangers fan.
Right.
So obviously we've got inherent bias, right? So McCausland goes down. When you see it live in play, you think it's a stonewall penalty, right? Once you see it back, you think to yourself, has he been down a bit easily? Has he dived? I don't think he's not dived because he's not thrown himself forward. But think, if I remember correctly, there's a very, 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 very slight touch. But what people forget is, if you're going, because I was going very, very fast, the keeper's body weight's behind him. So if you're going that way at, you know, whatever miles per hour, if you're accelerating that way, and you've got a force, you've got a mass coming that way, then if my primary 6 science is correct,
Go get to the point.
force is mass times acceleration.
But does it matter?
Yeah, because even if what people think, oh, he's went down too easy, right? Even if it looks like there's only a slight touch, right? When you times his acceleration with the goalkeeper's mass, that's the force of the touch. So that's why he's went down.
I know what you're saying. It sounds like my personal training qualification. I had to learn about all that.
I think I've just either made everyone switch off or both them. I don't know.
Exactly.
But that's why. But that's why in football, see when you see a challenge, think to yourself, oh, that's nothing, or he should be getting up on his feet pretty quickly on that. People forget that even the slightest touch, when you've got people moving really, really fast,
force.
and you've got a force behind you as well.
Gravity.
Everything as well. Everything off his mind. So
Yeah.
And he's anticipated what's going to happen as well, and he's trying to get himself away out of the situation as well. However, so end of the day, it was a penalty given by the referee. It was checked by VAR and it was awarded. So that was it. Upsets Tav again, put himself in the position to take the penalty. Unfortunately, he's missed it.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough.
But do you know he did take the other one, didn't he? Later on in the game.
Yep.
I did see that one.
Yep. So.
And it was a cracker.
Yep. So then.
I love him to bats, Tav. I do. I've got no the pressure that boy's under is just unbelievable. And
yep. So, Sai said a couple of good. I could start there about 5 minutes ago about penalty kicks.
Yep.
And any team that's at the top of any league in any part of the world is going to get more penalties than a team that's bottom of the league because of the way the team plays. So if you've got
the more chances you've got, the more chances.
Correct. If you've got, you know, crosses into the box, you've got more attacking play, you've got more attacking transitions.
That's a great point. Yeah.
You've got people dribbling into the box. You've got crosses into the box with handballs. If your style of play is reasonably attacking, then you're going to. So, say for example, a team like Livingston. No disrespect or offence to them, they play what they're capable of. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if you've got a team like Livingston against a team like Rangers. Rangers are going to get more penalties over a season because of their style of play. That's just common sense.
It is. I seen somebody's back from a year ban on Facebook.
Not me, is it?
No. One of your comments.
Oh, okay.
Hi guys, I'm back after my year ban.
Who is it?
I don't know.
It's not Keegan Arrows.
It's Scott McIntyre.
Right.
You get the names on the stream. I don't know why.
Thought it might be Keegan Arrows or something. That's about his. That's about the games he plays. So that's the point. Obviously, Si's right with the stats there, and you know, any team you go down south and you look at Man City, you look at Man City, you look at Spurs, you look at Chelsea, Arsenal. They're going to get more penalties than Luton Town. It's common sense. Barcelona are going to get more penalties than Alaves. Bayern Munich are going to get more penalties than.
Right, okay. I get you.
I get it. That season at Rangers and Celtic are both they both get the same amount of penalties this season.
Yeah,
because they get the ball in the box more than anybody else.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, it's just media.
Yeah, but it's a good.
However, to anger people, doesn't it?
Yeah, but however, it's also a subconscious way of perhaps getting referees not to award penalties as well. Yeah. Because if it's just repeated penalty Rangers, penalty Rangers. I don't know what the word is for opposite of bias, you know, being biased, but
it's trying to influence decisions.
It influences. It's power of the word, right?
It's changing the narrative.
It changes the narrative, exactly. It's power of the word. I said that to somebody the other week. Hitler could control a whole nation with the power of the word. So when that's out there, that it sets the tone. It does for just. It's there, planted the seed.
Yeah, correct.
You know what I mean?
So therefore, the referees in future games might think to themselves, "Oh, I'll get slagged off, or I'll get a hard time for giving a penalty, and it's a slow penalty." So,
David Gers came up with a comment. Could you read it, Si? Is that okay?
The bottom line with VAR is that the vast majority of penalties are the right decision. It's only controversial because it's Rangers. So that's the point I was trying to make with David said there.
Yeah.
There's a big time when Rangers get a penalty. See if it's a penalty, no
Mhm.
matter what team it's for.
Mhm.
If it's a penalty and it's the right decision, it doesn't matter if there's 5 in a game, 6 in a game. If a player fouls another player in the box and it's a penalty, it should be given, and it shouldn't matter who the team are. It's a good
Exactly.
point David's making.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Nice
Absolutely.
to hear from you, David. I hope you're well.
Yep, absolutely. Hope you're well, David. So, McCausland then had the ball in the back of the net.
Aye.
What a finish! Like, you've got to say it broke to him, and
Yeah.
you know, it was like maybe 14 yards out or whatever, and he just slammed it at the top corner. Absolutely beautiful finish.
Yeah.
And he had a really good game, I thought,
Yeah.
on Sunday. However, unfortunately, it was ruled out because Seema was adjudged to foul the Levy defender.
Yeah.
But if you watch it back, if you watch the whole passage of play, it was actually a foul on Seema to begin with. So technically, it should have been what? Penalty Rangers. However, it wasn't given.
No, it wasn't. No.
And then and to be fair though, we controlled the game. You know, Livingston, as far as I can recall and remember, didn't have a shot and goal in the first half. Thought we played really, really well.
Yeah.
Didn't really have much to do defensively. A lot of the time they were just, kick the ball at the park or trying to get it away.
Mhm. Mhm.
Which was testament to the way we were playing.
Yeah.
And then we get the second, we get another penalty, and fair play to Tav. Again,
It's a cracker. Yeah.
he's got his detractors as captain. He's got his detractors as a right full back. But again, he steps up and beautiful penalty.
Beautiful display.
I'm just
Fans
having a
put
look
on
at
as
it.
well.
I'm just looking at Stav's. I'm
Remembering
trying to find
Sunday.
Tav's stats here, but
Yeah.
Johnny Hubbard, my old pal, Rangers legend, he was famously known as the penalty king, scoring 65 goals from the spot kick from 68. And that obviously there was a book written about that, but Tav can't be far after that.
Aye.
There
I
was
think Tav is
yeah.
something like 58 or 59 out of 70.
I'm just trying to
Yeah.
confirm it just now what it is because it's hard to find the exact number on it.
I know.
I do believe that it's something like the high 50s.
I think he's in 50 or 59 as well. I just want to make sure in case I see the wrong details on
Aye.
it.
And I think he's taking about 70 or just over 70. And I think it's a high 50s. I'm sure I remember that.
It does look like he's going to the ratio that he's putting him in it.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to take over wee Johnny's record, and I know wee Johnny was really proud of that. But at the same time, he would have been delighted to see somebody like Tav
Yeah.
getting there. But somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think he's going to get it by the end of this season.
Yeah.
I think he's
the way
got.
things are
I
going.
think if my stats are in the ballpark anyway,
I'm trying to
then
find it.
he's got a between 80 and 85% conversion rate,
Mhm.
which is obviously not perfect. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of people with worse records than that. So, so comfortable in the end. 2-0 should have been a lot more. Could have been 4, 5, or 6. Were you happy enough with the performance and the result?
I was, yeah, because one, we get 3 points, and after Thursday, and again with injuries and getting fully fit, I think it was a superb performance.
I thought McCausland played really well. I thought Tom Lawrence played really
I
well.
like the starting who he started with as well, and
Yeah.
obviously there's like the fact that there's other players getting a chance, and
Remember, we've still got guys like
Exactly.
Kieran Doll injured and
it's trying to get people fit
Raskin
again.
injured as well now
Lawrence
as well.
just come back
So
into the team and I think Lawrence is
That's
going to be a massive
Yeah.
advantage when
he
he
was
gets back.
Definitely.
He was man of the match on Sunday.
Once he gets back to full fitness,
Aye.
because
Tom-
it's the injury that he got, he's going to get niggly injuries. Getting back to full fitness again for the next couple of months, but
Yeah.
getting him on a long term, I think if he's competing against Cantwell for that position in that area,
Yeah.
it can only be good for Rangers.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
So what I confirm, 57 goals for the penalty spot that Tav's scored so far
Okay.
compared to wee Johnny's.
57.
Is it?
Wee Johnny's on 65 he got in his career. So aye.
So could get by the end of the season
Easily.
maybe close to that, and then
Mhm,
going into next season if he's still here, which he'd be more than likely will be, then he'll probably break that record.
Yeah.
So overall, good performance. 2-0 going on 5-0. A couple of decisions maybe went against us, but at the end of the day, it's the kind of place where you just go, get the 3 points,
Aye.
up the road.
Exactly. Aye. totally agree.
Just want to say well done to both the Livingston fans and Rangers fans for the impeccable respect shown at the start of the game for Remembering Sunday. And don't want to dwell too much on it because we're here to talk about Rangers, but all I'll say to the matter is what a contrast compared to the behaviour, the unacceptable conduct and behaviour of other fans on the other side of the city. Remembering Sunday.
I don't know much about this. I'd like to talk about it. What happened? Because
it was live on Sky TV.
Right.
But it was the minute silence was again cut to 30 seconds. The majority of the Celtic support booing and singing chants along with it. These things are getting covered up a lot with football. But what's happened with Sky this time is it's been exposed on the media with different platforms all over the world. To be fair,
exactly.
people condemning it. But again, Scottish football sadly has to put up with it.
Yeah. And you know what's even worse? I read the BBC match report that night from all the football games. They didn't mention it at all. It wasn't mentioned at all on the BBC report. So, but again, it just goes to show the conduct of some fans in Scotland, and you compare that to you highlight that, and you go back to the passing of the Queen. Or the Dundee United fans at Ibrox that night was absolutely despicable and disgusting.
Did the same thing happen?
It seems to be a culture a culture of booing and abusing silences. If you remember, Celtic supporters got the minute's applause brought onto Scottish football, and then got into and that manifested into British football. The minute applause is something that I personally I'm totally against.
Me too.
Why would you want to applaud somebody? Somebody just passing away.
Exactly.
The way that our people are brought up is if part of the BB Church of Scotland.
Yeah,
whatever
you show respect.
Cultures is, if you can't keep your mouth shut for a minute and show respect, then don't bother. And because of the Celtic support, they've got that narrative that they constantly abuse these silences and tributes. That Scottish football covered it up by having applause, and even then they still boo it anyway. But I would never bow down to that. I think it should be a minute's silence at all times, and the perpetrators should be
absolutely.
The finger should be pointed at them at all times.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. If we don't address the situation, then we can't fix it. So
just when you're mentioning it, I think a special note as well. There was a few teams in England, and there was quite a lot of teams of Scottish football done great tributes. But I thought Leicester City's tribute was fantastic as well. Leicester's been doing it for a few years now, but they've done a big card display and things.
Wow.
And I thought that was a nice wee touch for them as well. But as you said, the Rangers supporters throughout the world haven't been unnoticed for again having that display in an away ground and doing that. Fantastic.
And Chelsea had the Chelsea pensioners again, so that was a brilliant day as well. So there we go. So massive respect for, and we've got to say well done to the Livingston fans as well for showing that respect as well. But obviously for the Rangers fans who had the majority of the stadium on Sunday as well, it was mostly Rangers fans. So again, that was Clement's 7th game in charge. He's 6-1 and a lot of turnaround in form and passion and everything. Like you can see, for me, you can see the body language in the players has changed. They're all laughing and joking with each other on the park.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well.
And the manager, the boss, he looks like this is going to sound a daft thing to say.
No, I know what you're going to say.
He's got that managerial presence.
Oh wow, yeah. But you know, see, I was talking to somebody about this, right? There's a difference. See who we've got. He's a leader. See a manager. A difference between a manager and a leader. A manager manages people to get them to do things they don't want to do. See a leader, they inspire people to achieve what they're capable of doing, and inspire them to do better. And he is a leader.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely
better than a manager in my eyes, anyway.
And anyone
you
can
can see that with the way the players are, and
they
look happy.
Yeah, but they're playing good football, and there's no energy and passion as well. And great. So that's the games covered. I think the final talking point tonight will be this morning. Rangers announced financial results.
I seen
Don't
that,
checking the phone during the broadcast, but
I did see it as well.
Check the figures and whatnot, as Simon said earlier. Oh, brilliant.
guessing this is the right one. Turnover for the year 30th of June was 83.8 million.
Yep.
Generating an operational profit of 252,000.
Yeah, so that doesn't sound like much, because but in football these days and nowadays, any kind of profit is heaven sent, to be perfectly honest. Given the fact that we've went through managerial cycles as well
Massively,
in the last couple of years,
you'd have thought maybe even breaking even would have been benefit, would have been good.
So it's always good to make any kind of profit.
Of course it is.
There has been a lot of expenditure on Edmiston House, the museum, etc., and repairs to the facilities at Ibrox as well.
So am I right in saying then, because of like Edmiston House and things like that's obviously generating?
So when it goes into the next set of accounts, so you'll start to see that generate revenue for the next set of accounts.
That's that. It's long term, and already we're starting to see results.
Yeah, there was a couple. So that's with Champions League football as well. The main influence on it for the last sets of accounts was the sale of Calvin Bassey and Joe Aribo. Calvin Bassey arrived for next to nothing, and we sold him for £19 million, which is a phenomenal profit. And also we got Joe Aribo for almost, I think, nothing actually, or maybe £500,000, and we sold him for 7 or 8 million as well. So as much as it pains us to say it, I think that has to be the way for Rangers, is to identify these young emerging talents at maybe
definitely.
19, 20, 21, get a few seasons out of them, and then the Premiership comes calling.
Exactly, and it's a win-win for Rangers and the player coming in.
Yeah.
There's no loss. I seen Size put up a good start there.
Aye, so the income from the Custodial partnerships increased. So myself included, there has been a lot of criticism with the Custodial deal. However, it's starting to make money.
Yeah.
It's from 5.5 million in 2002 to 7.2 million last season.
There you go.
So there is money coming in from that. There is a lot of expenditure this year, but there's been a lot of outgoings as well. I suppose I'm not a financial guru. However, doesn't seem too bad. I've not seen anybody really criticising the figures.
I think there's been a few decisions getting made, like letting Kent and Morelos run their contracts down, which haven't been great decisions at the end of the day. But if you bring in guys for maybe £500,000 in total, and even Glenn Kamara, 50 grand, and then sold for the best part of 5 million. I think that'll be in the next set of accounts, to be honest. But when you've got a model like that, then that's unfortunately that's the way forward for Rangers, and that is the only way that we'll have any chance of competing, if we get these gems and then sell them on, and then get more gems and sell them on.
And I think it gives us a bit of trust and faith in the financial people behind the board that are working with Rangers, that we can put our trust in them, that things are obviously improving, and that's great. That's a great positive in itself, isn't it?
To be fair, we always call it on this show, we call it out, a spade, and we'll criticise when there's criticism to be had and made. However, when you come and show, I think this is the second or third year in a row there's been operating profit. Which is great. So well played to them.
Yeah. So
any last comments? We'll probably wrap it up in a few minutes.
Yep. Any plugins you want to do? We have got some big news coming.
Yeah. Keep an eye out on all the channels, all the social media, because we have got very, very, very big and special news coming. very, quite big, which we will announce in due course.
Yeah.
Please continue to check out our website, www.thegers.tv. We've got great merchandise on there now as well. If you go onto our Spotify channel, so if you've got access to Spotify, which everyone does, please go onto Spotify and search the Gers TV. Thanks to David Hurd, a good friend of the show, for spending time with us this week in the last 7 days recording.
I'll post a link up to that.
Sorry, yeah, please do. Remembering Sunday specials, absolutely fantastic, and we've got about 12 to 13 episodes on there now, and every episode is a fantastic listen. So again, David, can't thank you enough for that. But
it's all free, remember?
It's all free, and even if you listen to half of it on the way to work, the other half on the way back from work, you know, please help and support, because David Herd mostly, it's not all David Herd, by the way, nothing to do with us, it's all David Herd. His facts, his figures, his stories are absolutely superb, so please have a listen to them. But if any charity stuff?
Yeah, I will be doing charity very soon. After our first major big change, we will be launching our Christmas charity, so please stay tuned. That will be happening very shortly. I'll not say all the details about it yet.
In the next week or so, or towards the end of the month, or?
I would say probably looking at maybe, hopefully next week. I would like to have it.
Brilliant. The final thing we'll say is that for all those watching that have got themselves, their friends and family, they've got an Xbox, PlayStation, and a laptop, we've got an esports community as well, which I'll post a link up for this after the show. Again, it's all kinds like FIFA, Modern Warfare, Football Manager, etc. We're all a big community, and Rangers forums as well. So please check that out. I'll post a link for that later. So, bit of a short episode tonight. We are working on absolutely amazing things behind the scenes. So please keep tuned for that. I don't want to say very, very big again.
Just wrap up.
Yeah, so that'll be us for tonight. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much for your support. And as ever, always remember, we are
the people.